Welcome to lesson 5 of this our new training, of this our graphics design masterclass, pardon. Alright, lesson 4 we were talking about opening an image. So I always start my videos by saying for those who did not watch the previous lessons, they should click on the description below. I always put two previous lessons on my descriptions on each videos to help you follow up or to guide you. Alright, let's proceed with this video. So again, those who have access to all my exercise files, if you do not have them or you did not succeed in downloading them, I will still put the link of these files in this particular video because it is necessary for you to follow along with my exercise files. So today we'll be talking about navigation, but then if I open lesson 2, I have two images, so I will just hover onto one and open in Photoshop. And here's the image in front of me. So navigation now has to do with some tools here in the tool panel. I'm going to walk you through all these tools with each and every topic that I place here in this video, that I teach in this video. So with navigation, we are going to start with the first tool here, which is the zoom tool. This tool, the zoom tool, which you can either click on it or you could get it by simply pressing Z on your keyboard. That is its shortcut key, pressing Z on your keyboard. The same thing for Mac and the same thing for Windows. So let's say the image is open as so. What does this tool permit me to do? If you look inside of it, you realize that it has a plus, and like I earlier told you in the previous videos, each tool has its function above. So if you look up here, you will see its various functions, and you realize that it has the plus and the minus zoom tool. You have zoom all windows, and synoptic zoom, active pixel, fit screen, fill screen, print size. I'm going to talk about all of these. Now if I click on a particular spot of my image that is open, you realize that it zooms in. As I click, it zooms in. As I click, it zooms in. That is because the plus is active. If I click on the minus and I click again, you notice that it zooms out, right? It zooms the image out. So that is how the zoom tool works. It is just to click to zoom in and out. Another thing again about the zoom tool is that rather than clicking to zoom in and out, you could come here. If I click on actual pixel, you see Photoshop will zoom it to the actual quality of the image, telling me at this level this is the actual quality of the image. That is, if you zoom further again, you start losing some values of the image or losing some pixels, pardon. If I click on fit screen, you see it automatically brings the image to fit my workspace. That is what is fit screen, which is always usable when we'll be working in Photoshop. You want to move forward and backward with your image. Fill screen, you just want it to slightly fill your workspace. While print size is a case where you want to see how it's going to look like when you print the image. This is how clear this image is going to look if I print. So if I click on print size, it shows me this. Another thing again about this very zoom tool is that if I come up here to this synoptic zoom, let me just click and select it, then I zoom in. Now you realize what is happening with that synoptic zoom activated. If I click and hold, let me go back to the plus tool. If I click and hold, I am zooming in. You see, when I click and hold and drag, my image is zooming in. If I stop, it stops zooming. So if I go back to the minus tool, the same thing. I click and hold and drag, my image zooms out. So that is what it does. It helps you to click and hold and drag. Now if I deactivate the both of them, and let's say I wanted to see just the eye portion with these two deactivated, take note, and I'm the plus zoom, I could just select just the eye section. You see, I will click, hold and drag to select. So you click, hold and drag, and when I release my mouse, you take note that just the eye section of my image zoomed out, just the section, the portion of the image I selected. Alright, let me feedback on screen. You can do this for any portion of the image that you want. Say maybe you were doing some editing just on the mouth section and you wanted to see the mouth very well. You can click, drag and select just the mouth portion of the image. When you are done with editing, you can go back to fit on screen. So that is how the zoom tool works. Now before I close this particular video, you need to know about the shortcut keys of the zoom tool. To work with your keyboard, remember I told you from the beginning of this video that to pick the zoom tool is Z. Let's just say on this first tool, the move tool. The first tool is called the move tool. I'll talk about it on my next videos. So if I want to take the zoom tool now, rather than coming here to click, I just press on Z on my keyboard and you realize that I'm on the zoom tool. So rather than using my mouse to click front and back to zoom, if I should hold Alt on my keyboard, if I press Alt and hold, you realize that, let me release Alt, you see that it comes back plus, right? If I press Alt and hold, I'm back on my minus zoom. So I could click and minus, and if I wanted the positive one, I leave the Alt back and I click. So Alt can temporarily give me the minus option without me necessarily coming to the Windows section here to click and take. Alt will give it to me. Another thing again about the shortcut key of my zoom tool is that if I wanted to zoom in just with my keyboard, I will use Control plus. If you don't know where the plus button is on your keyboard, look at the number section of your keyboard just above your letters from 1 right up to the end. It is close to backspace. You see plus and minus there. So if I hold Control and I press plus, you realize that it zooms in, and if I press minus, it zooms out. Plus, it zooms out while holding down Control. So Control plus to zoom in and Control minus to zoom out. If I wanted to fit on screen without using my mouse, rather than coming to here to click on my image to fit on screen on Photoshop pattern, I can still hold Control 0. So Control 0 gives me fit on screen. So whenever I'm zoomed into a particular level and I want it to fit on screen, Control 0. Now if I wanted to show, I think actual pixel is Control 1. Yes, Control 1, the actual pixel option that we had there, Control 1 will give it to you. Also, before I forget, if you have mastered your zoom so much, like people like us who have been working with Photoshop for about 7 years now, if you look down here at your left side corner, you will see this percentage here, 100%. Watch what happens when I click on fit on screen. You realize that the percentage changes to 25%, which means I could still come down here and select this percentage and enter say 50. I type 50, I press enter. You realize that it zooms my image in 50%. If I select again and I press 150, it zooms my image 150%. So the only issue that we don't use this percentage section too much is that it does not zoom in the particular portion or proportion that we want. That is why most of the times I deal with the shortcut key, or I just select the portion of the image that I want to work on. So if I zoom out, I rather prefer to click and select the portion I want to work on and zoom in. After I'm done working, Control 0 to zoom out. Alright, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to always be notified. Liking this video will help YouTube rank this video, will help you to show this video to others who are out there looking for this particular masterclass. So see you in the next class.